This is a real touchy subject, I think, in my opinion. But I have to ask this question to all of you to know exactly what you think and what you feel about it. And in this video, it's going to be about Hispanics and black people that are ghetto versus blacks and Hispanics that are whitewashed. The term whitewashed or educated, or however you want to call it. That's what this video is going to be about. Completely about. Okay, I just want to let you guys know, I hope you don't get offended, any viewers, but this is just an opinion. And of course, I spoke to people about it, and of course, I heard from both sides. This is a little bit of social Darwin in this particular case, just to let you know. So, with that being said, I've always grown up with in the ghetto. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to grow up around people that are laid back ghetto, blacks and Hispanics, mostly Hispanics in my neighborhood, my old neighborhood where I grew up. And of course, there was a little bit of trailer park people there, not very many. Anyways, there was mostly Hispanics, not that much blacks, and a fair amount of white people. And some of them were low class, some of them were upper low class. At first, when I was growing up, and then it just became more and more ghetto. A lot of the Hispanics that were either laid back ghetto or just completely ghetto, I couldn't stand the ones that were extremely ghetto. I could not stand them whatsoever. And of course, like I said before, I grew up with JKs, Junior Kings, Latin Kings that are like in their age 12 to 15 or something like that. And I saw how they actually acted, how they behaved, and the stupid things that they did. And of course, they had messed up families, very dysfunctional families. But as far as their mannerisms and the way they acted and their behavior and their character, they just sucked. And I had some friends that were more laid back. They were like laid back ghetto. And those are the ones I got along with. Those are the ones that became more friends with. And then there was this one guy that I knew ever since I was 7 years old. His parents didn't want him to go to any of the public schools that I was going to. Whether, I went to Cago Elementary School and then Kosciuszko and then South Division High School. And there was Allen Field, there was Longfellow, there was other types of middle schools and things like that. So, but the thing that I wanted to say was, I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call from somebody. I'm going to have to ignore it, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, sorry about that. There was a phone call that happened during the middle of the recording. Where was I? Oh yeah, anyways, yeah, this friend of mine that I grew up with, he instead of going to one of these places, he went to St. Matthew's. His parents wanted him to go to a private school. And when he graduated from there, he went to Pius High School. another private school, and this was during the late '80s when he attended there. He was class of 1990, so I was friends with him ever since he was 7. But he was a Mexican. He was like an Aztec. He had dark skin and stuff like that. And he had white friends. I mean, that's just how he was. He grew up with in a private school. And in Pius, for those of you who are from Milwaukee or from anywhere around that area, I forgot exactly where Pius High School is. I don't know what part. Anyways, he had friends there, and he actually grew up with a lot of them. So he was very whitewashed as far as his character, his mannerisms, his behavior, and things like that, and the way he thought. And he couldn't stand ghetto trash people. He couldn't stand people that are very ghetto. Even though he grew up in the ghetto with me. We were both in the same neighborhood. But he never, just like me, was never ghetto bound, I should say. I was never brainwashed by a lot of the stupid shit that was going on. We were able to mentally, and emotionally, mostly emotionally, withstand it. If he became laid back ghetto, I still would have been friends with him. It's no big deal. But he despised ghetto people just as much as I did. The ones that are extremely ghetto, the ones that are thugs, the ones that do cause a lot of trouble. And there was a lot of Latin kings that I knew that actually were like that. And of course, I was kind of friends with them, but I never really hung out with them. And because there was always cops around whenever some stupid things they would do would happen. And I just didn't want to be anywhere near them because I could be mistaken as one of them. Anyways, we grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons. And it's a nerd thing, but I'm proud of it. I love playing D&D. This doesn't bother me. Even to this very day. And all sorts of role-playing games like GURPS, Ninjas and Super Spies, and the list goes on and on. And I've noticed, to me, with all of that I just finished explaining, what I noticed that, and I also noticed a few blacks that my friend became friends with, and I became friends with them through him. There was this one black guy who was also very whitewashed. He also was like an honor student and this and that. And he also says himself he can't necessarily stand. He has no tolerance for black people that are very ghetto. He sees them as inferior because of their character, their mannerisms, and the stupid things that they do. The ones that are very thuggish. And he says he wants nothing to do with them. And then I actually feel more comfortable with them. When it comes to blacks and Hispanics, I feel comfortable with laid-back ghetto people. It doesn't really bother me all that much. I can't stand the ones that are extremely ghetto, but I love the ones that are very educated and whitewashed. I know I shouldn't use that. I know I shouldn't use that word, whitewash. I understand that, but that's the only way. That's the only way I could actually explain it. Whitewashed blacks and Hispanics, I feel very, very comfortable being around with. But that's just me. And I know that those are the types that actually I don't want to use the word deserve. But I guess I can't think of another word for it. But those are the ones that are best suited to live in the suburbs. If there's blacks and Hispanics that start out of pure luck, or in my particular case where I noticed there was a Hispanic family that lived a block down when I moved into this nicer neighborhood. It was I would say it was kind of suburban. And this one lady who lived by herself, the Hispanic lady, but then she had cousins and she had nephews and stuff, things like that came to visit her. And they took advantage of this situation and ended up living with her for whatever the reason. They figured out something, and they were very ghetto. And I felt so uncomfortable around them whenever I would pass by the house and things like that. Later on, she ended up kicking them out of the house because they were inviting their friends and they were having parties. They were drinking, doing drugs, and they ended up getting caught somehow or whatever. The police ended up going there, and she ended up just, saying, "I had it with this. You're not going to live here anymore. Get the fuck out. Get out." So she kicked them all out. She was like, "I can't believe I let you talk me into letting you stay here." So she kicked them out. And now with them being gone, I felt a whole lot better. I don't hate my own kind. As a Chicano, I'm not ashamed of my own kind. I just do not like people that are ghetto, that are extremely ghetto, the ones that, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm coming from this. Laid back ghetto, the ones that are more mild and this and that, I don't have a problem with those. I grew up with people like that too, and I became friends with them. So it doesn't really bother me. I just cannot stand extremely ghetto trash people. They're very unsavory. They have very poor character, very poor mannerisms. Their behavior is unacceptable, and they're capable of doing stupid things that could actually get you hurt or killed, or maybe, I don't know, or get you into some kind of trouble if you ever try to be friends with them. You don't want I don't want anything to do with people like that. So I want to know what you think. Am I being wrong? Am I being an asshole for saying all this thing? For saying all this? Just give me your honest opinion. That's what I want to know. So it is a little bit social Darwin in this kind of thing, but even though I shouldn't really look down on certain people, it's not right to do. But in this particular case, it's somewhat acceptable in a sense. But I do like to help people and things like that. I do care about people. I just don't. There's just certain people that I don't really trust, and these are the types that I don't trust. Well, anyways, any comments, questions? Let me know what you honestly think. And to all of you, take care.